One we're going to make our way to now. Tibet. Join me on a journey across the roof of the world.
Bald and Bankrupt, is he a fearless traveler driven by curiosity and wanderlust, or a manipulator hiding in plain sight? How does someone go from being broke and forgotten in the UK to one of the most watched travel vloggers on YouTube? And what happens when that rise to fame is suddenly clouded by scandal, arrest, and allegations so disturbing they could permanently alter how we see him? Today, we're diving headfirst into the journey of Benjamin Rich, the man whose charm and chaos built an empire, and whose past, some believe, is finally catching up with him. Before the passports and viral fame, Benjamin Rich was just a bald British guy with a dream. He wasn't a filmmaker. He had no sponsors. He wasn't part of any travel influencer clique. In fact, when he started his YouTube channel in 2018, he was doing the exact opposite of what most travel vloggers were doing. While others booked five-star hotels, flew drones over white sand beaches, and built curated feeds, Ben hit record on a handheld camera and walked straight into the forgotten corners of the world, post-Soviet towns.
Go down the corridor coming to my room. Now check out this room. I think you're going to love it. Here we go.
Crumbling infrastructure and remote villages that looked like they were frozen in time. He didn't have high-end gear or flashy editing. He filmed on the go, stayed in cheap hotels.
So off we go. And finally, it has a kitchen that we can use. There you go. You can cook anything.
Bunked with locals and gave his audience realness. His fascination with Soviet life wasn't just a passing interest. It was rooted in personal experience. In 1993, he spent 2 months living in Moscow.
The other day, as I was driving through Moscow, I passed this huge Soviet monolith of a building.
That was shortly after the Soviet Union's collapse, a time of intense political transition and societal uncertainty. That trip left a lasting impression on him. Years later, a month-long backpacking trip through India reignited that same flame. What was meant to be a brief escape turned into an extended stay. He fell in love with the culture, the people.
Jay Boleki from Varanasi. All right. So I think it comes across well in my videos that I love India.
The people and the place so deeply that he opened a small hotel business during his time there. His fluency in Russian gave him direct access to the hearts and minds of the people he met. No translators, no filtered dialogues, just raw, uncut humanity. His name, Bald and Bankrupt, wasn't just a punchline either. It was a window into his reality. A man who had gone broke, lost everything in the UK, and started over on his own terms. He became, in a way, an unofficial ambassador for overlooked nations. If you wanted to see what Moldova really looked like, or what daily life in Turkmenistan was like, Ben was the guy. Most YouTubers chase brand deals, sponsorships, and polished image control. Ben rejected all of that. Instead, he monetized through YouTube ads, a Patreon page, and a self-published book under the pseudonym Arthur Chichester. That decision not only gave him creative freedom, it earned him respect. He wasn't worried about offending a sponsor. He just filmed what he wanted. But this independence also meant he bore all the risk, and as his videos got more daring, that risk grew. His content leaned into unpredictability, sneaking into abandoned buildings.
Oh, fucking hell.
Traveling to areas considered dangerous or politically sensitive, walking into places few outsiders had ever stepped foot in. These weren't
50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. Welcome to Pripyat.
These weren't just travel videos, they were adrenaline shots of real-world tension. But what happens when the unknown starts looking a little too shady? What happens when the man with the camera becomes the story himself? In May 2022, Ben decided to take on one of his most ambitious and reckless missions yet, infiltrating a Soviet-era spaceport in remote Kazakhstan. Why? Because inside that abandoned compound was the legendary Buran.
Soviet spaceship. The Buran.
A Cold War relic created by the Soviet Union in response to NASA's space shuttle program. With help from an urban explorer photographer, Ben located the site and walked 30 kilometers to reach it. It wasn't legal, it wasn't safe, and he knew it. Still, he filmed inside the Cosmodrome, showing viewers the decaying shuttle up close. The footage went viral, but soon after he was arrested by Kazakh authorities. He later stated that he got off with just a fine after speaking with the police. But that close brush with the law revealed something darker. His taste for danger wasn't just an act, he was willing to risk arrest, and the worst was yet to come. In September 2022, Ben posted a video titled, "The Journey is Over." In it, he revealed something shocking. He had been arrested arrested and banned from Russia.
Punishment, one of the punishments, is that I'm being kicked out of Russia with immediate effect. Banned from coming back.
For years, Russia had been one of his favorite destinations. Culturally rich, complex, and deeply tied to the Soviet past, he loved exploring. But now, it was off limits. Why? It turned out that Ben had made some very public statements criticizing Vladimir Putin, even calling him crazy. He had also organized a fundraiser for Ukraine during one of the most politically sensitive times in recent history. Russian authorities arrested him and officially charged him with discrediting the armed services, a serious offense that could have landed him behind bars for up to 15 years. His police interview was even published in Russian media, turning him from a quirky traveler into a political figure overnight. He managed to escape with his freedom, but not without consequences. One of the countries that had defined his channel was now off limits forever, but these were just the tip of the iceberg. Benjamin's story gets even darker as some people on Reddit started speculating if Ben and his friend Harald Baldr were sex tourists and pickup artists. So, what was the reason behind this sudden allegation? How did the whole mess start? Well, for starters, people started to notice how he objectified women in his videos and said some borderline creepy things like his comments on the Indian policewomen and weird camera angles, which made some people uncomfortable. A whisper became a theory became a thread, and before long people were connecting dots that no one could ignore. Reddit users began digging into old pickup artist (PUA) forums and uncovered a poster named Vorkuta, also known as the Fantasist. He described his past in the UK, including a criminal trial in Winchester that he and two friends were acquitted of. The events, the location, the timeline, they all matched a real court case reported in the Daily Echo about a man named Benjamin Rich Swift. Vorkuta claimed he had dropped the Swift part of his name and fled £30,000 in credit card debt. He talked about living on the Isle of Wight, then moving to Brighton. He mentioned being Jewish, 6'3", a Chelsea football fan, with a Belarusian girlfriend, every detail eerily aligning with Bald and Bankrupt's own life. He also described opening a guest house in India for 4 years, just like Ben did. It didn't stop there. Vorkuta outlined disturbing tactics to seduce local women. He would befriend elderly locals, babushkas and male figures in a village, win their trust by showing fake pictures of himself in luxury settings, and then use that goodwill to access their daughters or younger female relatives. He even gave the method a name, the Schindler technique. On the forums, he used language strikingly similar to Ben's: hotties, babushkas, gopniks, Soviet. His style of speaking matched what fans heard in Bald and Bankrupt videos. Then came the smoking gun. A user from Belarus claimed they had met Vorkuta and confirmed that it was, in fact, Ben. He also casually named Harald Baldr, Ben's close friend and frequent travel companion. The original forum threads were later deleted, but screenshots, saved posts, and shared quotes remain. They spread across Reddit, Discord, Twitter, and beyond, fueling a wildfire of speculation and disgust. And yet, Bald and Bankrupt did not disappear. In 2023, Ben re-emerged with a bold, unexpected journey. This time, he wasn't in Eastern Europe. He was trekking through Latin America, walking alongside Venezuelan migrants on their journey north toward the United States. He braved the infamous Darien Gap, a deadly stretch of jungle that separates Colombia and Panama, riddled with dangers from wild animals to drug traffickers. In 2024, Ben returned to the UK, but not to celebrate. He used his lens to expose the societal decay he saw spreading across British towns: broken infrastructure, neglected communities, forgotten people. So now we're left with a question. Who is Benjamin Rich? Is he the daring traveler who brought us inside parts of the world we never would have seen otherwise? Or is he something darker, a man with a past he's never fully owned, hiding behind a lens and a viral brand? Is Bald and Bankrupt a symbol of raw human connection, or a mask worn to hide manipulation? We may never get a straight answer, but one thing's for sure: the truth is far more complicated than his YouTube thumbnails would have you believe. Let us know what you believe in the comments below. Do you think the allegations are true? Has his past changed how you see him? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.